Hey, beautiful people. It is day 43 of Strong at 75. And today we're going to talk about the best day to pay your credit cards to maximize and boost your credit scores. So, the last few days, we've been talking about statement dates, and we've been applying for rent reporting companies going to report utilities. And then yesterday, day 43, we talked about putting everything on auto pay. So not only should you guys have things on auto pay to pay the minimum, that's the key, pay the minimum, put it on auto pay to pay the minimum. I want you all to make sure that you're paying your statement balance, but I want to make sure I show you guys which day you have to make sure that you pay your statement balance. So let me actually pull up a statement that I found on the internet that we can use as an example. Okay, right. So here's a statement right here. So we're gonna act like this is account, okay? And let's actually add this to our um, credit card utilization list. So let's add it here. Just a Visa Platinum. Let's put FB Visa. Let's call it that, FB Visa. Let's add it to our account, and then I'm gonna show you how you basically would be filling these things out. FB Visa. That's not F. That's RB. FB Visa. Okay, when we look at this too, let me zoom in some. So when we look at this, the credit line is $4,000. So let's put $4,000 on our utilization tracker. So the limit is $4,000. And then our new balance is $207.98. So you can see right here the balance is $207.98. So let's add that. We're just gonna add let's add just 208 on there. I'm just gonna round up. Okay, and then our due date is due on the 17th of May. So we're gonna add on here the 17th because don't forget on here we already have our dates on here. So this one is due on the 17th, which is perfect. Okay, so that's doing a 17. So that's only a 5% utilization, 5.2% utilization, which is really good. Now, the goal is I want you guys to set up the minimum payment being due on these days here. These are your due dates. But you guys can also pay more on your credit cards by making sure that you pay by the statement closing date. As long as you make a payment by that day, it's going to bring your balance down even more because what it is on that day, that is what they're going to report to the credit bureaus. When your statement closed, that's what they're going to report to the credit bureaus. So if we was to look at this statement here, at the top, we'll see, again, this is old. This is just something I found on the internet. I don't even know if this is real. It's just a sample statement, but it has everything on it. So we can see that the statement opened from this time to this time. So the statement open day, it opened on the 22nd of March and then it closed on the 20th of April. Okay. So their closing date was on the 20th. So they wanted to make sure that they had it paid off. I would say at least a day before the statement day. So that's why I usually tell people. So I would tell them, hey, make sure you have it paid by the 19th because sometimes it's companies out there be like, hey, if we don't get your payment by 5 o'clock, if we don't get it by this time, and I want you guys to call your credit card company and ask what's their special rules because they do have special rules. Ask them what their special rules is, and you need to know what's your statement closing date. So reason why you want to do your statement closing date is because of this. So say with this person, they trying to buy a house, right? And they know that they finna get their credit pulled next month. So this is the balance right here and the limits on these individual credit cards. But their overall, don't tell me I messed it up, please. I've messed up this sheet somehow. Let me figure out what I did wrong to mess up the utilization sheet. Fortunately, I think I'm not going to be able to find it out. Do not mess up your sheets. I did something where I must have touched one of these. A plus B. Number 4 is missing. Oh, you know what I did, y'all? Remember when on the last episode, on the last one, I created. Let me just go back. I'm just going to edit it all the way out. Matter of fact, actually, let me go forward. I'll need to fix this because I don't know how many more times you're going to use it. And I don't want to. Let me just press it back until I fix it. I'm guessing when I did this July 25th thing right here. Okay, now it's messing up. I'm going all the way to the bottom. Yeah, it was when I did all this stuff. Like when I put the July 25th on there for y'all. So let's go ahead and paste that. Okay, perfect. So now I have to, because we need to know the totals. We need to know what our totals is. Don't mess this sheet up like I did, y'all. I did all this extra, changing this, changing that. Like just put your credit card company, put the name of the credit card here, put your due date there, put the balance, put the limit, and the rest of it, leave it alone because you don't want to mess up this part right here, which is our totals. So this is what I want to show y'all. We have utilization, right? So the utilization is at 33% right now. What if they say, you know what, I need to get mine down less than the what if they say, hey, I want to get mine down less than the 33%, right? So if that's what they saying they want to do, then they will say, hey, I'm at 33, let me get it down less than 30. They'll go ahead and they'll pay. But right now we see that 30% is here. So they need to make sure that their total balances is at 13,665. So what they'll do is they'll do this amount. And then they'll do minus, and then they will subtract this other amount, the one that they need to be at, and do equals. And that means they need to pay $1,700, right? So they know, okay, I need to pay $1,700 on my credit cards because I need to get my balance down even lower. So technically it is a 27 while I'm recording this. So what they'll do is they'll say, you know what, what's my next credit cards that's going to be due? And they'll look on here and say, hey, you know what, the next ones that's going to be due, that's going to report, is going to be the $65, this $346 one. Then they'll say, hey, I could pay this $251, and I'm going to also just pay some more money on this care credit, want to bring that balance down. Or they could just say, you know, I'm just going to pay the care credit down. They can pick and choose. But for interest purposes, I would just tell them, hey, pay all of these small ones because you're going to get to your $1,700. And then that way you don't have to pay interest on those credit cards. You can save whatever your interest is going to be. And that's why people want to know what their statement dates are going to be. That way they'll know, hey, I can put the money on this one and I know when I'm going to report. So say if they're going to do the care credit one, right? And they trying to be able to purchase a house next month, they get their credit pulled. Usually they'll find out, hey, what's my statement date for my care credit? And then they'll say, hey, let's say about 3 days after our due date, they'll say, you know what? I'll add an extra day on there. On the 22nd of next month, I'm going to go ahead and apply for my house. Because by then, they'll go ahead and bring this balance down. Let's just act like they're going to pay $1,800 on here, and just to make it much easier. And what would $1,800 be? So that's 15. 25 would be 15. No, 20. 20 would be 15. 17. So 1744 would be the new balance, I believe. So yep, look at their utilization now. They paid the $1,800 on their care credit, and look where their utilization is now. Is at the 29%. So that's why you want to know when are they going to report, because you'll know, okay, once I pay on this care credit, I know my utilization going to be down under that 30%. I'm going to be good because my credit score going to go up by the time I need to get the house. That's why you need to know your statement date. And another thing, so it's the 27th right now, technically. This one that say the 23rd is the due date, I always think about 3 days after the due date is going to be the statement date. So that's the 26th. 9 times out of 10, they already reported that to the credit bureau. So I don't care if you was to pay that today. That ain't going to get reflected until the next time they report. So next month on the 26th. So it's no point in even paying on this one at all. You need to pay going forward. And then you need to understand 3 days after your due date, or just call the company 3 days after that, that's when they're going to report. So that's why you need to know what your statement date is. And you need to find out how you're going to get your credit score boosted even more by making sure you pay before that statement date. And again, your credit score not going to be boosted if you pay this today. I don't care if you pay it off. It ain't going to be boosted until next month when they finally report that balance, because they already reported what your balance is most likely. You can call your credit card company, because some of them are delayed where it's not 3 days, but call them and ask them, hey, when is my statement date? And then also ask them, hey, listen, I'm going to pay $2,000 on my credit card today. Is it going to be reported when you guys close it out? When are you guys going to report it? So you can ask them that also, but you have to know when your statement date is, because if you know when your statement date is, that's how you guys are going to know when they're going to report to the bureau. So the best day to pay is right before the statement closing day, not just on the due date. So we could pay that minimum on the due date. And also I would hope that you guys will pay your statement balance by your due date. And let me show you that too. And that's just so you guys can avoid any interest. So if you guys pay your statement balance, which is right here, the statement balance is this new balance right here that say $207.98. That is the statement balance. Okay, that's the actual balance. That was the balance on your statement at that time. The minimum payment is the $30. A lot of people just pay that $30, but they're going to continue to be charged interest. If you guys pay that $207.98, they can't charge you any interest at all. I would love if you guys were to pay that $207.98. I would love if you guys were to pay that, because that's going to help you guys out a lot if you guys were to pay that by the due date. And that way they're not going to charge you any interest. But the thing is, even if you pay that statement balance by your due date, sometimes you probably put new charges on that credit card, so that don't even matter either. You put new charges on it. So even if you were to pay your statement balance by a due date, maybe you put $500 more on here, so now your whole balance altogether is $707.98. But your statement balance, that's how much you owe last month technically, that is $207.98. So let me give y'all an example. The previous balance on here was $267 and $267.75. Okay, that's what the previous balance was, and it was a payment on that. But now there's new charges and things on this account, so now everything has changed. So I want you guys to pay this statement balance by your due date right here. But if you guys put new charges on it, you may want to pay even more than that. And that's what you want to make sure you pay by your statement date, no matter what. If you want to make sure that it gets reported, a lower amount will get reported to the credit bureau. So today, I want you guys to look up your statement closing date on your credit cards and write it down in a new scheduled payment so that you guys can have early payouts. Now, on the same utilization sheets, you can go on here and say, okay, I talked to Capital One personally. I know my statement date, and then you put your statement date is on the 4th. So you can put SD on here, and say, hey, that's the SD is going to be my statement date. And then you can put on the other ones too. If you guys want to make it even better, you guys can just put DD for due date on here. And that way, hey, DD is due date, SD is your statement date. Okay. And you can go down all your credit cards and know, hey, when's your statement date, when is your due date? And sometimes these things are going to change. So you may just want to call and confirm. But again, only reason why you want to know your statement date is because you didn't pay everything you need to pay on your due date. If you just pay everything by your due date, you're going to be good. But say if you get paid you get to pay the day after your due date, and you like, dang, I paid the minimum, but I want to pay more on it. You still got time to pay on it. You just want to confirm that day that you still have to be able to pay on it, basically. And that's for the people that's trying to pay their credit cards off even faster. So that's what I want to make sure I go over with you all today. So today we were just basically going over paying by your statement day. I am about to go live again because guess what? Y'all's disputes should be back. And I need to show y'all how to do y'all round 2 disputes. It's going to take us about an hour. I need to show y'all the example of what accounts would be deleted, how to do a whole new letter, whether they responded, whether they did not respond, because it's 2 separate letters that you guys are going to have to do. Those letters are available within the course. So definitely if you guys have the course, then you guys will be able to have those letters then in the course. But I have to show you guys how to fill that out. So I'm about to start another live. I'll start another live in about, I don't know, give me about 10, 15 minutes to start another live. And then we're going to start working on those letters because it's going to take us a little minute to get those done. But I'll see you guys on the next live. I'm not going to call it a particular day. I'm just going to show you guys how to do y'all round 2 disputes. So I'm just going to say strongest 75 round 2 disputes because everybody going to have round 2 disputes at different times. Okay. So today we went over paying on your credit cards, the date. And tomorrow we're going to talk about avoid closing your old credit cards and what you guys can do instead. So that's going to be day 44. I'm going to record that tomorrow on this particular day. But you guys, we have 75 days. So we're more than halfway there at this point. So let's go ahead and do our round 2. And I'm just very, very excited that we're pushing through and everybody that's staying on track and they doing every single day. They got their workbook, they working in their workbook, they doing everything. That's fine. And also too, I'll say in about a week, I'm going to have an accelerated one because some people, you guys are coming in late and you trying to just jump in right now. And that's not going to work. I'm going to have an accelerated one where I'm going to tell y'all exactly what y'all need to do to be able to boost y'all credit score, the 100 points within 30 days. Like I want to bring it down. I know we like 180. We want 180 points total within the 75 days. I'm going to try to break it down and show y'all how to do it within 100 days. It's going to be accelerated. But everything that y'all been having within the strongest 75, y'all still going to be able to have it. Y'all still going to be able to have certain days y'all going to have to go look at. It's going to be just a straight miniature book that's going to tell y'all exactly how to do it. And I'm going to have it available in the PDF form for those people that want it and y'all want to go accelerate it. Because I know everybody, I'm on day 44. I'm about to be done with this. Don't forget, I'm doing this while I'm still doing my classes. My classes for this semester ends on the 28th and this ends on the 30th. So I'm going to do an accelerated one and I'm going to have that available, and that's what we're going to go over after this. So we're going to do an accelerated one where instead of doing it for 75 days, we're going to drop it down to 30 days. And it's something that y'all going to have to do every day, and it's just going to be accelerated to get stuff going even faster. But I just want to drop that in y'all ear, so look out for that because I'm going to have that available, and y'all still going to have to watch certain days because certain days we didn't have anything for y'all to do. Inside of strongest 75 other than make sure what y'all was supposed to do yesterday was done, or I'm teaching y'all further on certain things. So I'm very excited about that. I'm looking forward to that. We're probably most likely going to do the accelerated 30-day version right after this. So I look forward to doing that. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Let me get everything prepared so we can do those round 2 disputes. I'll see you guys in the next video.